Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I missed you so much. I'm so glad that you're back because I have a story time for you. First, before we get started, I know there's a big elephant in the room. You can't tell. My hair is different. And if you've known me, especially my whole life, I had highlights in my hair for 10 years. I could not go without my hair being blonde. Ooh, it's my natural hair. But I absolutely love it. I feel like the more that I've loved myself and loved me for me, it kind of attracted me back to, or aligned me back to myself. So let's get into this video. The reason why I honestly wanted to talk about this is because I know so many of my girlfriends can relate to this. I know so many girls who are watching this or have known me or know me, like, you can relate. Yeah, so this video is for anybody, no matter what you identify as, no matter who you are. You can relate if you've ever dated a guy. Even been friends with guys, because I know there are even some friendships that can make women feel uncomfortable. And I was just going to share this really important story time of an experience that I had with somebody who I thought was my guy friend. And I just kind of wanted to mention some of the red flags that came up with this. I know there are so many, and I plan on making more storytime videos just because I know so many people can relate to this. And maybe if you're out there and you're dating somebody or you're seeing signs like this, maybe this is a good thing for you to pick yourself, choose yourself. One of the biggest things that I have always come back to every single time, whether you're dating or you're friends with somebody, no matter what your relationship kind of is with anybody in your life, family, whatever that may be, always trust your gut feeling. And I will always stick to that to the rest of my life, because in this story time that I'm going to be telling you today, I had a weird gut feeling. And we may come up with these reasons or things in our brain to ignore those feelings. But trust me, your first feeling is always going to be right. I promise. I look back now in all the situations in my life, I always had a gut feeling, and every time I ignored it, it just got worse before it got better. All those things eventually fell out of my life, but it took me learning the hard way to understand that, like, my first gut feeling or intuition about this person, place, work environment, whatever that may be, was always right. It's just a feeling of being uneasy or knowing something's wrong, but you can't really quite put your finger on it, or not being comfortable around someone. I think those are really big red flags. So grab your snack, whatever you want to do, your drink, something, and we can chill and chat. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, or share. Send this to a bestie or friend, and we can come all hang out and chat together. So I want to mention you can DM me over on my Instagram and chat with me, because there were so many beautiful, amazing women who messaged me and told me their stories. And I'm so glad you felt comfortable to share that with me, and I'm sending you so much love, and my DMs are always open. Of course, I always urge you to go seek professional help, but if you just want somebody who can relate to you and you feel like you want to express that, my DMs are always open. I'm never going to judge you, because I fully support you for you and your truth and your story, and I always will. This was at a time in my life where I was first getting out of my comfort zone, and I was really pushing myself to talk to new people, and it wasn't even romantically, it was just new friends, new people in general. I was 22, and this guy messaged me, and my little brain, so how I work is I just assume that everybody who messages me wants to be friends. And I know that's not, I'm a lot more cautious now, and now I can see through people. I can literally read people like a book, and when I say that, I mean I can sniff away your intentions from a mile away. The reason why I say that is because I've been through so much life experience. I just see the signs, and before I even see the signs, my intuition, my gut feeling, I'm gonna know it, and I'm gonna know it right away. And this was when I was still kind of healing, and so I don't think I was just working on a lot, and yeah, I just really wanted to get out of my comfort zone. And so this guy messages me, and for me, I'm not a person to necessarily go out and hang out with strangers. Like, if I meet you through somebody or we're mutual friends, then I'm more inclined to hang out with you, because I just assume that I somewhat know you. You know what I mean? But be safe. Be safe, okay? Because there is Ted Bundys out there. But you know, you're gonna know, so it's okay. So this guy messages me, and we have mutual friends, and I think I know him from a while ago through family, friends, mutual friends. And so for me, I just automatically assumed that this person is an okay person, right? Because if they know my family, or they've known family, friends, or just people you grow up with, of course, right? At this point, I was 22 and he was 29. Okay? 29. I'm gonna expose myself. I'm not just saying I've only had bad experiences. There are some really good guys out there. So, but this particular guy was 29, and I feel like that was really weird, and I should have seen that. And when he first messages me, he was like, hey, like, I think I remember you. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. You know, it's just like those family friends or people that met you when you were younger. Like, hey, you want to like FaceTime and we can catch up? And, you know, I have these friends and we have things going on and fun things that we do. I think it'd be fun if you know, come hang out with us and stuff. But I FaceTime him and I talked to him for maybe an hour. And for me, I really wanted to get out of my comfort zone and meet new people. And so for me, that felt kind of nice. So I was like, oh, cool. Like, sweet. After that, I kind of chatted every now and again. I was not expecting anything more than just a friendship and getting to know more people, and he wanted to invite me to a bonfire with friends. And so I was like, cool, like a new group of friends. That was my whole mindset. I had never flirted with this man or insinuated anything throughout this whole entire time, and at first he wasn't giving me that vibe either. And I'm just also just kind of that person where I'm not gonna assume anything or expect anything. Like, I don't know, I'm just getting to know people for people, and I don't have necessarily those intentions. And I think that was a big thing for me to realize, is I wasn't wanting that from him in any kind of way. But just wait. We go to this bonfire, and I think it was like pretty chill at the time. I did kind of catch some weird vibes, but I was more focused on getting to know and meet more people. Like, I wasn't going to necessarily hang out with this person. I was going to kind of just like meet new people. Right after, the next day, he just kept asking to hang out more and more and more. And at this point, I was honestly really busy, and therefore I wasn't looking for anything either. And so for me, like, my friendships are kind of casual. Like, we all understand that we're adults and we have busy lives. And so he kind of kept being persistent, and then I just kind of stopped responding at this point because I was just super busy, and I was like, I'm just not that person. Like, I'm not the clingy type of person. Some time passed. Like, it'd been 2 months maybe, or a month or two, and I'd chat every now and again. But I was going on a lot of trips at this point in my life, so I just wasn't really there a lot. Then I put out my video. My first video on YouTube, you know, sharing my story and my truth, and that was a really big deal for me to kind of share that. I had a lot of anxiety over that and stuff, and after that, a lot of people were messaging me, and it made me feel really heard and validated, and to know that, you know, other people go through stuff like this and that they believed me. And so that was just really heartfelt, amazing time. It felt really freeing. And so he messaged me again, and he was like, wow, I had no idea. But he was saying, like, you're such a strong woman. And to me at the time, I was like, okay, like, thank you. Like, that's so nice of you. And right after that, he was like, when you're back in town or whatever, do you want to go get coffee as friends? First of all, one, it should be a red flag that he said as friends, because that must have meant that he was assuming that it was something else. Okay, I FaceTimed this man one time and hung out with him once. So I was like, yeah. I go there, and we got our coffee and food and whatever, and he like wouldn't let me pay. And you know, for some people that might be normal, but for me, I was like, yo, we're just friends. I don't really know you like that still. And like, I can totally get my own thing. But he like forcefully like wouldn't let it happen. And I was like, okay then I guess free food and free coffee. Like, okay. I was like just expecting to literally go get a quick coffee and leave. And then he was like, you want to go get some ice cream? First of all, I don't know. It may be a red flag when, I don't know if that's even a red flag, but it just made me uncomfortable, and I should have been like, no, but at the time, I felt kind of chill. I was like, sure, I get some ice cream. He's like, we can take my car. And that kind of made me a little uncomfortable, but at the time, I was like, I don't know, because I've done that with guy friends. Like, I've just went and hung out, and it wasn't awkward or weird. So I just kept trying to lie to myself and like make myself comfortable when I knew that I wasn't. And so we got ice cream, and he made a whole big deal about me paying, and I was like, he was like so shocked about it. He was like, no way. And I was like, excuse me? Why is this such a big weird deal to you? It just made me feel so uncomfortable. And then after that, he was like, you want to go watch the sunset? And then I knew, I was like, oh, that made me so uncomfortable. I was really not down for that. I just didn't know this man like that, and being alone with him made me feel really weird. Don't worry, my friends had my location, okay? And I was texting them like the whole time. Literally the whole time, because you never know. Then I right then knew, I was like, no, I need to go home. Like, this is not the vibe. I'm pretty tired. And I already kind of been mentioning that like throughout the time that we were hanging out. It just was weird. It just made me feel weird because it felt like that was like planned out. Because he was like, let's just go get coffee as friends. And they made this whole big thing about it. Okay, so at this point that he was like, oh, let's go watch the sunset. One part of my mind, it was just a normal thing because we lived by the ocean. And so we'd always go to a bonfire, go have a fire, or go hang out. That was just kind of a normal thing. But for this man, it felt weird. And he kept kind of getting really close to me, made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, ew, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this.
I have to mention, this man was literally also dumping all this stuff about his ex onto me and talking about her new relationship. It just was so weird.
So I was like, no, I'm gonna go home. I'm tired. Then we drove back to like where my car was. And I was like, no, I can walk myself to my car. Like, it's literally up the hill. I walk alone all of the time, like in the dark. And in the city that I've been in, like that was just normal for me. I can walk by myself. I don't need you to walk me to my car. I don't know you like that. And I feel like it would be different if I was actually dating someone or actually knew who somebody was. Then I would want that. But I knew that I didn't want that. And I had told this man 3 times. I was like, no, I'm fine, thank you, but no. And so then I just started walking really fast, and then he started walking really fast and was literally just like speed walking. It was so awkward to my car. And so I just got in my car and I was like, okay, like, bye. And then he'd been texting me and right after that moment, and was like, you want to go to like a barbecue with my friends and family? And it just got so weird really quickly. I was like, you just told me before this, as friends, grab a coffee. Then you made it this whole big long thing, and then asked me to go to a barbecue with your friends and family? Like, I'm not dating you. I'm not dating you. I don't know you. I don't know this man. I was like, I never want to speak to this person again. It was not the vibe. It was just not the vibe, and I should have trusted it. Remember before, he would message me like multiple times if I didn't respond to him, and that should have been another big red flag, because one, I don't owe you or anyone on this planet anything. One, I don't know you like that. 2, I never told you I was interested in you or insinuated anything. And I think another weird thing is too, like, since he bought like my food or coffee or whatever, it seemed like it was like this undertone of like I owe him something now, that like he did that. And it was just so uncomfortable and so icky and gross. So the next day he texts me again. I don't respond. 1, I'm busy living my life. 2, like it's okay. It's okay to be like, no, I don't want to talk to you anymore. If someone's making you uncomfortable and you don't want to be around them, that's fine, okay? That's totally fine. I also forgot to mention, I had told him that I was going on another trip and I'd be gone for a week, and he knew that. And so the next day he was like, you want to go hang out this day? I was like, no, I'll be gone. Like, I'll be gone, sorry. He asked me literally 3 times that day. He's like, you want to hang out this date and this time for this thing? So I kept saying no to that. Literally was saying no. Then he blows up on me. Okay, he messages me on social media. Oh, and at this point, I think I'd given him my number. So he was texting me paragraphs. Started calling me. And he said the reason why he was calling me was to explain what he had meant. And I was like, okay, you're insinuating that I can't understand you. Like, I'm a full-grown woman at this point. Yes, I was 22, but I was like, you don't need to call me to try to manipulate me or persuade me or tell me. And he just goes off. So this behavior is not okay, and people need to be held accountable. Like, making a woman feel uncomfortable in any way, or acting like she owes you something when you don't know her like that. Or one of the biggest things too is, guys, I've had situations where I tell them no or tell them certain things, and then they get like extremely rude and like vile and will blow up on me, and I'm like, one, I don't know you, I don't owe you anything. It's just guys, when they get rejected, if you know what I mean, you've been in experiences like that, and it's just so gross. And so he blows up on me. He's like, this is not a one-way street, you need to tell me right now this and that. And I was like, keep in mind, I FaceTimed this man one time for like an hour, hung out with him one time in like a group setting, and then hung out with him to go get coffee that turned into that thing. That's it. Okay, I don't know this man. I don't know you. He just got extremely possessive and creepy real quick, and I was like, oh, hell no. This is not happening again. This is not happening again. I've learned my lessons, God. I was like, this is a test from the universe, and I've learned my lessons. I was like, no way in hell that this is happening again. Now, I should have shut it down from the very beginning, but I learned a lot quicker this time, and it was a really good lesson, because I was like, oh, hell no. I don't care if you're 29. If you're being too pushy, I'm setting up boundaries. I'm saying no, and you're not respecting that and respecting me. And just the way you're talking to me made me so like uncomfortable and icky and gross. And I was like, I'm gonna block this man off everything. Yeah, into the universe, I was like, no, this is not happening again. Okay? Ladies, you always gotta trust your gut feeling. Always. You should always be able to say no in any situation. I don't care if you're walking naked down the street. That does not give any single human the right to touch you, to come up to you, to expect anything from you. And keep in mind, like, I'm not even just saying that. I never flirted with this man one time. I never insinuated anything. I was literally just being a nice, genuine human being. And he acted like I owed him the world. I know there are other women or girls out there, or no matter what your orientation is, no matter who you are, just if you're attracted to somebody, or you've been dating or talking to anybody, or not even that, just friendships with anybody who identifies as a male, I don't know. I'm just saying that because in our society, there's just so many women who have stories and experiences like that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just not like, one, I'm not the clingy type. Two, I don't know what it is, but I've had more than many experiences with men who just think that because they buy you dinner, or they buy you something, or they do the most basic human thing ever, that one, I never asked for, that you owe them something. If I'm telling you no, then you should respect that, no matter what that may be. And when you're not respecting that and not respecting my boundaries, there's an issue. Like, that is an extremely big red flag. Also, I want to mention, if you're out there and you feel safe and you feel comfortable to message me about your story, I would love to be able to interview you on a video. Or if you don't feel comfortable, you can send me an email of your story, DM me an email. I can read your story anonymously and share it for you, because I don't know, I feel like you out there, your voice deserves to be heard and to be seen. And I really want to make that, I don't know, I just want to make that a part of my channel. I really want to help amazing, beautiful people out there share their stories, whether that's with mental health, or whether that's addiction, or whether you're a survivor, or whether you felt like you've had trauma and you want to express and share your story and tell your journey. I think that'd be incredible, and I'm here for you. Just know that you don't owe anyone out there anything. You, by existing, you are beautiful, you are incredible. I love you so much. There is more videos coming. Stay tuned for next week's video.